good, Tay. I'm screaming.
It's all good.
Okay, now we're live, period. How'd y'all like that song? I hope y'all liked it. This is just gonna be Gerald's playlist, y'all. So if y'all rocking with it, let me know. You know how that go. Okay, I just invited you from the show page. Did you get it?
Yes, on time. That's what we love. We love promptness.
A timely queen.
Know that we probably gonna last. And know that you need
Now, I know I have my challenges with the time. I said I can't be late on nobody else's.
I appreciate you, girl.
So just quick, I need to mute myself on here on the Zoom. Is that
On
right?
this, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and request to join.
And we'll still be able to hear you. Actually, hold on 1 second, because I'm about to pause this music, because it's about to be showtime.
Now please don't compare me.
So let's test this audio real quick, y'all. Hey, y'all, tell me how y'all Tuesdays was going. I know I personally didn't have a day, so it's a day nonetheless, but we're here and we're still smiling, okay? Can you hear me, Tay? Period. Okay, let me make sure that we can hear you from Facebook, because it's been a minute. I took a nice little week off because your girl needed a break. I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay.
Let's make sure that we can see you from Facebook. Make sure we can hear. Go ahead and say a little something.
Hey, y'all. Are we giving echo?
I don't think we're giving echo. I think we're good.
Great. Okay. You know, I'm thinking, I'm like, I am 26. There's no reason why I have this much trouble with tech.
Girl, hold on 1 second. That's me echoing. And it's okay because I feel like we're getting older in general. Hold on, I'm gonna turn this down here. Okay, and I think I can still hear you because it's not on mute. So we're good.
Perfect.
Period. Hey y'all, let me know if there's an echo. I did hear somebody put echo. Let me know if y'all are still hearing that echo. My people's on Facebook, let me know if y'all can hear us. Give me a thumbs up. Otherwise, we are about to get started. I have the beautiful Miss Tay Green, Dantasia Green.
On my live tonight. I need to go ahead with the full name.
You like, I have to, the whole name is, I love your name, actually.
Thank you.
Hold on. There we go. Now we can see. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. You know, I'm super excited to talk about you, your business. This is something that is like super new. So I know you're excited to talk about it too. And just learn more about you. So we just gonna get into it. And we'll start with some introductions. So tell me a little bit about you, where you're from, some hobbies.
Okay. Sure. Well, I guess let me introduce myself as Dantasia Green. For my close peeps, and you all know me as Tay. I am from Springfield, Ohio. I can't believe I'm actually saying this on live, but that's a whole nother story. But shout out to Springfield. I'm 26. Let's see, a couple hobbies. You know, I've been actually getting into some podcasts. Like, I was one, you know, when I'm on my way driving to work, I'm like, the music, I don't know what's been going on with this music lately, but I'm like, well, let me get into something different. But I ain't really been getting into podcasts. I've been reading a lot more. Yeah, and just really enjoying the outdoors.
What are some podcasts you're listening to?
Oh my goodness, 30 Minutes with the Perrys. Like, hands down, love it. I love it. I love it. I feel like they need to go ahead and just make me like a brand ambassador. But so I seen it one time on one of my friends' Instagram. I said, well, let me check it out because, you know, I love listening to just other Black women and Black men speak. And they're two Christian couple. They're a married couple. And really, they just talk about life. They talk about things that we go through as Christians. And I'm like, oh my goodness, y'all are speaking my truth. Like every time I join, y'all are speaking my truth.
Come on.
I mean, and the thing, the long podcasts, I can't do a long podcast, but it's 30 minutes. It's real quick. They get to the point. They speak on what it is and send you on your way. So definitely check it out.
I'll definitely check that out. I need some new ones to listen to. I'm all about like self-care podcasts.
Oh yeah.
What are you reading?
Oh my goodness. This book called Bossed Up. I don't want to mess this girl's name up, but oh my goodness. So I was like reading through the intro and I said, this is me. Like this is my life. I'm like, do you know me? But you know, what she talks about in this book is just about how us women, we work, we are workaholics. And sometimes we love this term, we're busy, we're on our grind, we're this and that. And I'm like, she's like, stop saying that. Stop saying that. You know, it's okay to do what you got to do, but you're busy and now you are ran down to the ground. And I said, okay, well, let me take a minute to really self-reflect and pause to see what can I do and really use my time management skills and not feel so, burnt down all the time.
Yes. You know what? That's for me because that's my favorite term right there. I'm busy. That's me. I'm sorry, I'm busy. And before you know it, I'm in bed and I got like 10,000 things to do. And I'm like, I can't even do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll definitely. You said it's called Bossed Up?
Bossed Up.
All right. Well, come on, Miss Boss.
Girl, listen. I'm trying to be bossed up, but bossed up in a way where I am not burnt out. That's it right there.
That's it. Bossed up, but not burnt out.
Not burnt out. Okay.
Love it. Well, I know that you're getting ready to get married.
Yes.
How's wedding planning?
You know what? I want to take a moment to shout out my bridesmaids. Like, they are just, when I say, for those who are watching, who are going to get married soon, plan to get married, pick the right bridesmaids, okay? They have really just made this effortless. And my fiance, he, we had a conversation. I said, listen, baby, it's a we getting married. I need help. And he does, and he really is helpful. So it's really going well.
Yes, I love that for y'all. Well, Black love, I love it. And when is the wedding?
November 4th.
November 4th. Now, are you going to be here as a destination?
It is a destination wedding. We are going to Jamaica.
Come on.
Girl, listen, one day I came home. He said, babe, let's talk about a destination wedding, because he really wanted one here. And as women, we know a couple things. And I'm like, okay, baby, you want 200 plus guests. Okay, that bill gonna run up real quick. But I think once he realized, we start looking at venues here, and one day he said, yeah, let's go ahead and do destination wedding. So
I love that. Well, I can't wait to see the pictures. I've been following y'all for a minute. The engagement pictures were beautiful. Loved them.
Thank you.
Thank you. See the wedding.
Shout out to our girl Mariah on photography.
Make sure y'all book with her. Great photographer in the Columbus area, and she travels. So
yes, she does. Yes, she does.
Well, getting into goal setting, because I know you're big on goal setting. What are some of your goals for this month?
Sure, girl. I'm ashamed to say, but still doing some more wedding planning. Getting ready for the bridal party to come up, and just kind of getting ready for that on a personal side. I would say more on the professional side. There's a couple things that I'm trying to have in the works at my current job. So really, I don't want to speak too much on it, but that's really one of my goals, is to really sit down and get this proposal together and get some things in the work.
Absolutely. And I see you in the gym too. So shout out to you being in the gym. I love to see it.
Girl, yes. I said, if we're going to be in Jamaica, baby, we got to do it right. Got to have this stomach on flat.
You're going to be giving legs and hips and bodies.
All of it. What Candy Bird say? That's what I'm going to give.
Let's get them, girls. Well, I love it. So let's get into the career talk, right? Bag talk. What made you want to pursue a career in coaching and consulting?
Absolutely. A couple things. And let's just make it simple. Just my life experiences. So, my business, it has two parts to it. Mainly, we do group coaching for youth. The second part of is the consulting part, is we go into nonprofits and, doing workshops, facilitating those. Because what I have seen working in the nonprofits is it is so hard to retain employees for a couple different reasons. And that's what we try to focus on, is going in and trying to work on team alignment, team appreciation, things like that on the consulting part. But ultimately, like I said, it's really just my life experiences. All these things I've worked through, I had challenges with, and I said, you know what, Lord, I got you. Thank you for instilling this wisdom, and let me kick it back to our community.
I love it. So definitely focusing on youth, right?
Yes.
Okay, like, is there a specific age range, or is it
absolutely? So I do middle school through college. Specifically, that middle school age, I don't know if you have been around them middle schoolers, but that's such an important development stage for our youth. That's when they start learning about themselves and start learning about, what society feels about you and all these different things. And I feel like that's when we really need to start, going into these schools and going into these youth programs. Like, let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation.
Yes, I agree. And like in middle school, so many things are changing for you. You've seen different things you've never seen before. So I absolutely agree. I think that's a great target age. And speaking on the nonprofits, I've heard the best advice I've ever heard, because I wanted to do nonprofit work once upon a time. But somebody told me, if you want to work in a nonprofit, start off working for a nonprofit.
Yes.
And would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I knew when I was in college, I'm like, of course, I'm young, I want to get into nonprofit, give back and do these things. And when I first got into it, I said, okay. And I will say, go into nonprofit if you are truly passionate about it, because do not go in there thinking it's about pay. It's not about that. You really, truly have to have it, in your heart and your soul that you want to serve others.
I love that. So what would you say the biggest difficulty you ran into when you were working in nonprofit work?
I would say the money and the resources, and not money like for me, paychecks, not that, which, whatever. It wouldn't hurt to have a couple dollars, but it was the resources and the money. I was working with a nonprofit probably like a year and a half ago. And one thing that made me step back from it was a lot of my morals and values were getting tested, because I'm like, man, we doing all this work with these kids and these families, but why don't we have these resources to truly help? I don't like serving in a way that it's like a standstill. I want you, if you come into these nonprofits, I want you to really feel like once we have supported you and helped you and nurtured you, we've done all these things, I want you to go back out into the world and thrive. And I think there's just a challenge with a lot of nonprofits don't have resources in the funds.
Yes, that's not the first time I heard that. I've had a couple friends that work for nonprofits, and it's like the messaging be there, but the resources and the money don't. So that's really good to know. So if you're interested in nonprofit work, definitely take some gems of what we're saying now, because this can help you out. Okay,
Absolutely.
So you're not mad in the
Absolutely.
future. Well, speaking about school, you did mention, college and what you studied. Let's talk about a little bit, because you are a Bobcat.
Yes, I am. Yes. Oh, you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Showing love to all my Bobcats out there. Tell us what you majored in.
Sure. Yep. So I have my BS in Child and Family Studies. I did go on, I think maybe like a year and a half after I graduated, to pursue my Master's of Arts in Organizational Leadership. And because I love school so much, I am back in school currently. I'm studying for my PhD in metaphysics. Girl, listen. At this point, I'm like, girl, you love school. You love it. And you must really love it.
And I love that for you. Continuing education is so wise to do. I always feel like it's a good decision.
Absolutely.
Especially if you can afford it. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. One time I sat down, because I'm really big on value alignment. And I sat down, I did it for myself. I said, well, let me do a little check-in. And girl, I remember circling wisdom. And it took me back. I'm like, well, that's why you enjoy school, because you prioritize wisdom so much. You enjoy going back to school and learning, and you're not willing to keep yourself in that box, and you're not stopping to learn. So, but yeah, here we are. So,
and wisdom brings growth. So I
absolutely.
love
Absolutely.
that. Well, we would definitely have to shout out your org. So shout out all the orgs that showed you love, that you love at OU.
Yes. First, of course, I gotta shout out my sisters, my SOARs, my Alpha Kappa Alpha, Sorority Incorporated. Also, I did do ours, Ohio University Recruiting Society. I love ours. Yeah, those were my two biggest orgs.
Yes, I've had tons of people from DeFi on here, so shout out to y'all. Love y'all. As y'all know, I'm a Delta, and it's nothing but love between the two.
Yes. Absolutely.
No beef here at all.
All love.
Tell me, what's one of your favorite OU memories?
So I told my fiance, I said, babe, my favorite is me and you. And he said, girl, don't do that.
Girl.
But honestly, man, I had such a great time in college. It's really hard to pinpoint, but I would say just overall, getting, in the Black community and spending so much time, going to all the fests with you guys and really hanging out. I feel like I've really made genuine connections with you guys. I feel like probably the most memorables is the ones that I really can't remember, because you know how we get down at OU. So I would just say, just hanging out with you guys and spending time with my line sisters, and yeah.
Absolutely. And are you going to bar?
That is still up in the air.
Okay.
Yes, I have an event that weekend, but I'm really going to try at least pop in that Thursday or Friday for sure.
I really hope so. Fingers crossed. If y'all people that don't know what bar is, that's Black Alumni Reunion at OU, and they do that every 3 years. So it's been a minute. COVID kind of messed it up. So we're excited about that, and I hope you can come.
Absolutely. What about you? Are you coming?
I absolutely will be there.
Okay.
I'll be doing some work, so
okay.
For that,
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I almost said I stay busy, but we just talked about that.
We not busy. We just bossed up.
Period. So tell me, after school, after you graduated, what did life look like for you? What were you doing?
Broke.
Okay.
Broke and confused, and I really even struggle saying depressed, but I remember seeing a post, and it was like, nobody ever talks about like life, like that post life, after college. And I said, oh, because I'm feeling away. Because when we think about graduating, of course, we want to go out and get these great jobs and make all this great money, and and I'm like, I just wasn't happy. I wasn't happy because I'm like, I did all this work, but Lord, nothing is coming out of this. So I took some time, and I did go doing some AmeriCorps work, which I learned a lot about myself during that time. But I will say it was a time where I feel like I grew the most after school.
That is so real. Okay, as soon as you said broke, I said ding, ding, ding. Here it goes.
Girl, I'm like, why am I working 2 jobs? Like, I just graduated. Like, it just didn't make sense.
We're conditioned. Like, we're literally conditioned to think that as soon as you get out of school, you're going to apply the job that's going to be there. Like,
absolutely.
What is your biggest advice to people that, are graduating soon? Life is about to change for them.
I feel like the biggest thing for me is just take time for yourself, and just accept the fact it is a transition period for you. I think we skip over that fact. Like, it is a time where you're moving into, like, I would say, like, real adulthood. So give yourself grace, and it's okay. Take every little tad bit that you are, that milestone you're going through, and just embrace it, live it, learn it, and move on, but live your life.
That is some great advice, and stuff is not gonna happen overnight, y'all.
It's not.
Definitely be prepared. It's all right, but y'all gonna get to where y'all need to be in due time.
And stop comparing yourself to social media. That's probably my biggest one. Oh my goodness, I'm a victim. I'm a victim of social media. Like, please stop doing that. I'm telling you, it's not all what it seems. It's just not.
And it gets hard. It definitely gets hard, especially when you see, especially people in your circle. You see people just elevating and you like, oh, well, when is going to be me? When is my turn? So I love that. Definitely don't compare yourself.
Yep.
Before we get into that next question, I want to know, what did you learn about yourself? You said you learned a lot.
I learned a couple things. First of all, I learned that I was very impatient. I think that was the biggest thing for me. I learned, and that's something that we all think we have. We think we got patience, and I will say I did not have that. And that's sometimes I really had to sit and reflect and really understand that it's okay. Like, it's okay. Like you said, sometimes we're like, when is it my turn, Lord? When is it my turn? And it's okay to sit back and give your friends and the people in your circle their flowers and be the one on the sideline clapping for them, because it will be your turn eventually. And I think that was my biggest lesson I had to learn.
Yes, that's a big one. And I'm right there with you, girl. I am not, patience has been on the top of my prayer list since I was about 7. So I feel that. I'm just not a patient person.
Work in progress. But the thing is being self-aware. Just being self-aware, and it's okay. I'm still not 100% there, but I am aware of that, and I'm still working through it.
Come on. I love that. And that's the truth, honey.
Absolutely.
So what motivated you to start your business after working with AmeriCorps and everything else you were doing?
So I think I gotta make sure things are PG when explaining this. It was a couple different reasons. First, I was with a job that did something similar, and for me, I think the Lord has really blessed me with just kind of thinking outside the box sometimes. And I always had challenges with people like, you want to be a fixer and this, and I'm like, no, I don't take it that way. I take it as, the Lord really just gives me insights in different avenues to work some things out. And I remember when I was working at this job, they were doing certain things, but I said, well, maybe we can do something a different way. And I remember pitching it to them about this job that I'm like, this business that I started. I remember pitching this same exact thing to them. And they shut it down. I mean, it was crickets, didn't say a word. And the crazy thing is, I got my LLC back in November of last year. And the fact that I'm just now really presenting my business to the world, but I think that really taught me that the Lord was telling me it wasn't for them. It wasn't for that business. It wasn't for that. It was for you to go out and pursue. So I think just in that time frame of just kind of learning new avenues of how to work with youth and what could really be beneficial to them, I think really gave me that push. Like, come on, Tay, like, you've seen enough. That was me. Like, you've seen enough. You had enough conversations with these kids. You need to go out and really and do something about it.
Yes. And that's crazy that you say that, because I remember somebody telling me that you can't share your dreams and your goals with everybody.
Cannot.
And that was like just a perfect example. Did you feel like regret after that moment of like, the heck, I shouldn't have told them that?
I would say no. Only because it just kind of gave me more clarity of just like, you need to go do it. Because then in a way, even if I didn't do it, I feel like I would have never sat on it. Like, I would have kept sitting on it.
Yes.
So I'm glad it kind of gave me a push, like, oh, okay, you ain't gonna do nothing about it. I'm gonna do something about it. So I wouldn't say I regret it. And I just feel like, it just is what it is.
Yeah. And like you said, that was for you. It wasn't for them. So you pitched your idea. They didn't want it. They didn't take it. So then you started your business, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, I started this back in November. And I was like, I don't know, one day I was sitting at home and I don't know, the Lord just kept tugging on my heart. And he was like, this darn LLC is $100. If you don't go and do it. And I said, oh my gosh, okay, let me go ahead, get this LLC. And again, it was just like, I kept sitting on it and I'm like, but not yet. I kept saying that to the Lord. Like, I'm telling the Lord, not yet. I'm not ready yet. Yeah. But I think the biggest push for me was I was able to go and actually do what my business does. I was able to go out in a school, and I remember my cousin called me. She said, hey, like, would you mind doing like a life coaching session with my students? And she worked out of school. And I was like, I've never done that before, but okay, sure.
Right.
So I pitched a couple things to her, and she said, okay, come in and do a session on this. And I think the first one I ended up doing like goal setting and values alignment. And I just remember, man, like being in that moment with them kids, it was so powerful. And I feel like, and not to take so much credit for their experiences that we had together, but some of them felt like this is the first time somebody has ever asked me this. And I'm like, and you know me, I'm taken back, like, what?
About your goals, really? Right.
Yeah, and what was so crazy too about it was a lot of students don't have a lot of positive social interactions with peers. They don't have it. Mm-hmm. And I think these are a group of kids who've been in a classroom, probably, I think at this point, months, don't have conversations with each other, but this was the first time that they were actually able to speak on their life in front of people that they don't have relationships with. And to me, I walked away feeling so empowered by them. Not even what I was coaching on, but some of the things they was even saying back to me. I'm like, okay. So I think just feeling that way. And I said, in this moment, Lord, thank you, because I think I just needed that push and just being in that space to really feel like, okay, this is what I need to do.
Oh my goodness, that just gave me chills. I love that.
Girl, you know me, I'm a crier. Let me stop. So I got my glasses on.
No, because I think what you said, like people really don't take the time to really just sit down and talk to people, especially kids. Talk to them about their day. Ask them how their day is going. Ask them what their goals are, what you want to do. And for you to be that person, you definitely changed some lives that day.
Well, thank you. I really, really hope so. I really, really hope so. And them kids, I'm telling you, they were some talented kids. I know I was only with them for an hour. I'm like, man, I really walked away with something. Like those are some talented kids. Absolutely.
In that moment, did you feel like, yeah, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
Oh, absolutely. I said, oh, I knew. Because it's like, when you feel like you have an idea, but it doesn't feel solid. You keep going back in your head. I'm like, it just didn't feel solid. And I said, Lord, what can I do different? And not to say group coaching is nothing new. That is something that people do in their jobs, people do with their teams. That's nothing new. It's nothing new. But I'm going to tell you what is different about it is I'm focusing on making this go into classrooms. Like just how we put math, science, reading, writing, this needs to be in classrooms. Like these kids need this space and opportunity to do this during the day. I don't want this. This is not no after school thing. This is not something that is an extracurricular thing. This is something that is necessary. Yes. And that's just what it is.
Yes, having that outlet, I absolutely believe that. Having that outlet, I'm sure you'll see a change in these kids' behaviors. Them kids that they are too much, they do too much. They just need to talk. Some people just literally need to sit down and talk.
Talk it out. That is it. That is it. I remember one time, so I used to teach for AmeriCorps when I first graduated, and I would take some kids to this like little classroom, and we would do a couple problems together and whatever. And I remember I said, y'all, like, let's just stop for a second. Like, let's just talk. And they looking at me like, what? Because normally we got to work. And I said, no, like, close your textbook. Like, we're not doing problems. So let's just talk. And I mean, probably the best experience I've had with them kids. And you could tell it was a difference because they just want to be seen. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to be understood. And when you're literally sitting kids in a classroom all day for 7-8 hours. These teachers, they don't have the time to even take the time to say, hey, what's going on? How are you feeling? It don't even got to be always a soapbox. It's just a simple, how are you doing?
Right. And it's like, people are always talking at them, throwing stuff at them, education, lessons, all of that. And you're absolutely right. Just taking that break to be like, hey, are you okay? Everything all right?
You okay? Mm-hmm. And how can I support you? That's what we forget. And how can I support you?
That's a big one. That is a big one. Well, I love this. Make sure y'all, we're about to get into Q&A here in a little bit. So if y'all have some questions for Tay, make sure y'all drop them in the chat. If y'all loving what she's saying, I love audience engagement. Talk to me.
Yes, please. Give me questions.
Yes, we want to answer some questions on the live. So make sure y'all are being active in that chat. As far as why do you feel like having this, your business essence, why is this important? What is some of your goals for your business?
Sure. So I think the biggest thing for me is to create curriculum behind it that schools can actually take and say, hey, this is it, and actually have life coaches in school. I've been doing a lot of research, and I still have yet to see full-time, even life coaches in schools. And not to take away from counselors, guiding counselors, therapists, things like that are in the school. But I think sometimes students just need a different avenue. So I think that's the biggest thing for my business is just to create a curriculum. And that's kind of direction that I'm working towards.
Now, why did you choose to name it Essence?
So, okay, this may sound crazy. This might sound crazy, but when I was thinking of business names, like it was so dry. I was like, I can't come up with nothing. And I remember, and I always said, my brother passed away when I was in middle school, and I told myself, I'm like, I'm gonna name it after my brother. And I was like, okay, well, maybe not that. And I remember I asked the Lord, I said, can you just tell me what I need to name my business? And I remember I was driving the car, and the Essence song came on by Wizkid
and Thames. That's my song.
Yes, and I'm just jamming to it. This is my song. And it was just like that song kept playing. And I said, well, Lord, is it Essence? Is that what it is? And ever since then, I stuck with it. I stuck with it. And I think even the word essence is so powerful. Like it's so powerful. And of course, that's what I want to represent my business.
And I love that song. I definitely want to send my condolences about your brother as well. What was his name?
Thank you, David.
Okay,
David. But it's okay because he is definitely in the works in my business, and I can't wait to share that.
I love that. Well, Taylor just warmed my heart.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, girl. I am feeling so good. I said I'm so happy you reached out and we were able to have this moment. As you see, I love even being able to talk about my business finally, and thank you just for this platform.
Oh girl, you are so welcome, and you are doing great. I don't know why you were nervous. You are doing great.
So shy. I'm like, you girl, I'm over here. I got a fan on. I said, babe, put the fan on because I'm over here sweating. I'm nervous.
I got a black. So tell me, to be certified as a life coach, what are some of the qualities that you need to call yourself a life coach?
Absolutely. Go through life. I'm gonna say go. No, and I know this sounds silly, but go through life and overcome your obstacles. That's it. And be able to tell people how you did that. That's one of the main things. I know they do have a coaching certification you can go through IFC, which is basically that was a platform how life coaching even got started. You can go through that and get certified. You do not have to be certified to be a life coach. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but for me, I took a different path because I was just like all over the place. I'm like, what do I want to do? Like, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to specialize in? And I think the biggest thing with going through different certifications, which I did, I went through a few, is you're trying to learn technique. The biggest thing with life coaching is asking questions. That's it. Like, I remember one day I was in a session with one of my students, and I think I may talked 5 minutes of the hour session, and it was just me. I asked a few questions, and she had her own moment of like, oh, like she talked it through on her own. And that's how it should be. I should not be like during sessions, I'm not here to preach on you about your life. It's your life. You know, that's not what that's about. It's really just, it's like a support system. You know, when you're talking with your friends and they trying to ask you probing questions, you know, to get the tea. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah. After all that, you're like, actually, this is really why I'm mad.
This is why I'm mad. This is it. I'm like, when we first started, this is why you was mad, and at the end of it, we really got to the root cause of it.
Yes.
But sorry, I kind of went on a tangent, but ultimately, you do not have to be certified. But of course, it is helpful to do so.
Now, how does this differ from, like you said, counseling or therapy?
Mm-hmm. So with life coaching, it's more goal-oriented. Versus with therapy, they're more focused on the past and trying to see how that relates to some of the behaviors that you're doing now. But the thing that gets tricky is because I'm not certified as being a therapist, so I can't touch on certain things. It's kind of like knowing your limits. And not to say there are some conversations that has came up, and I'll be the first to say, hey, let's, I'm not qualified to really give you advice on that. I'm always very, I ride that line. I'm not I'm not trying to make it seem like I can help you do all these things when it comes to the therapy side and the mental health things. But it's very, very similar. But I think what the biggest difference is life coaching is goal oriented. Like, we're here to achieve goals. That's it. We are here to focus on the present and the future. Yep.
That's a really good being able to distinguish the two, because I was thinking to myself, like, this is kind of like therapy, but now that you broke it down, I'm like, yeah, no, but it's not.
It's not, yeah. And honestly, just I want to be transparent, is I actually had both at the same time. I had a life coach and I had a therapist at the same time. They keep me honest. And it really, some of the things, like, I would maybe piggyback from the things that I discussed with my life coach and then say it to go back to my therapist about. They kind of do piggyback. And a lot of my clients, they do have therapists as well. And we will kind of like, hey, like, how's it going with your therapist? Things like that. But as far as some of the topics, we just kind of stay clear from that.
And I love to hear that a coach has a coach.
Oh, I don't, girl, I was going twice a month. Because I think even when you run into therapists, some therapists have therapists. My thing is, I always say, who's checking in with you? Who's checking in? Even like HR people, the HR people always checking in with people. Who's checking in with you?
Right.
And the thing is, I still go through life myself. And sometimes I need that person to kind of give me some clarity and to give me just a different perspective. And I'm okay and I'm open about that.
Now, do you feel like a pressure that you have to have, like, your life together, everything needs to be in order, being in this position?
Yes, I would say yes. For a few different reasons. One, like, when you are a life coach, it's like, how you gonna tell me how to have time management and you can't even be on time to stuff and you all over the place? I'm like, that's valid. That's a valid question. Like, how am I going to tell you about that?
Right.
I think for me, I check in with myself often about certain things because I do sometimes struggle. But the difference for me is I am human and I know how to get myself back on track. But at the end of the day, I'm always transparent with clients, and I'll share some of my some challenges that I may have. But I think the biggest thing is just be able to be vulnerable and be able to be intentional and be authentic, when you are a life coach, when you're dealing with your clients.
That's so real. And that's real that you even say, like, sometimes I take my L's, like, it is what I'm human.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And one session, I always go back to this session because even right now it's giving me goosebumps. I mean, we talking, I forgot even what the topic was. And she said, I feel like you judging me. I said, close everything, close the notebook. I said, well, let's pause right now in this moment because I never wanted, people to feel like that.
Yeah.
And I don't want nobody to feel like because I am a life coach, I am perfect, I know all, and because I don't. That really brought me to a real place of like, okay, I don't want clients to feel that way. Like, and I want to be human with you. I want to share your challenges and your struggles with you. I want to share your successes with you. But I don't know, that was like a real moment for me. So now, like, I always hear that in my head, like when I'm talking to clients and just really making sure I'm being intentional with the things that I say.
Yeah, that's good. So you needed that moment.
Oh, I needed it. Oh, because she shut me down. I said, oh my, like, me, I'm like, me being judgy. I said, baby, you don't know what. I'm a mess too.
Little do you know, girl. Right.
Little do you know, me, I'm a mess. So
that's so real. That is so real. What is some of your favorite exercises that you do with your clients?
So I know I just shared this on my social media platform. It's called a feelings wheel. And I love it so much. So what it is like this big old colorful wheel with different feelings, emotions, etc. And I love starting out with it. Like normally, of course, like I don't see my clients sometimes for a couple weeks at a time. So of course, we always want to get straight into it. Girl, what you been up to? You know, like me and my clients, I love our relationship. But I'd be like, wait, let's pause. Let's pause real quick. Like, let's go over the feelings wheel. And I know it sounds like super elementary, but it's so powerful. Because again, we always ask people, how are you doing? And what we say, oh, we good. Oh, I'm good. I'm all right. I'm okay. Right. But I'm like, no. Look at this color. I mean, this feelings wheel. I want you to tell me exactly what you're feeling. And then after they go over that, I turn it back. Why? Why are you feeling this way? So we can, let's chat about it. Why are you feeling this way? And sometimes I may have a follow-up question, even when they give me the why. And sometimes I just have, like, let them have that space to, vent it out. Because you never know. Sometimes when I get like, oh, I'm feeling disappointed. Oh, tell me a little bit more about that. Why are you feeling disappointed? And you never know, that may take on a whole session. We thought we was going in talking about something, and I'll be like, it'd be the whole session. I'm like, people need that space to really share, how they're doing. That's it.
And it's crazy too, because looking at that will, it'll jog some feelings that you didn't even know you was feeling.
You didn't even know.
Like, how I don't know what I'm feeling, but this is what I'm feeling.
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard to pinpoint, and like you said, it's hard to pinpoint sometimes what you're feeling. But I think once you see certain words and terms, it will click for you. Like, oh, that's it. That's my truth right now in this moment, or even in this past week. And I think even having that opportunity and space to vent that out, you never know. That's all they probably needed, just in that space. It's just let me get this off my chest and let's move on. I even do this in my personal life with my fiance. Another thing, I'm like, all right, babe, I'll be calling him like, all right, babe, can I just have 5 minutes? Just 5 minutes to vent this out, and I want to move on with my day. And that's another thing that I'll do. Like, come on, 5 minutes, vent everything out that's bothering you, and let's move on. Because it's not serving you. It's just not serving you. So
yeah, and you just need that time and that space to just get it out.
Absolutely.
I gotta get my Oprah on. So in this moment, how are you feeling?
You know what? Well, let me pull up my feelings wheel. I'm gonna tell you.
Yes, let's get
I got my feelings wheel up. I would say today, I'm excited. I'm energetic. Let's see. There's another one I'm feeling, and I can't really seem to really put a word on there. This is how I be. This is our clients. They're like, I don't know. A little bit of emptiness. And I would say only because I'm feeling kind of sick. And listen, it's taking everything. Probably when I get off of this call, I'm probably gonna head first to the bed. And it's just really taking a lot out of me. But I'm just super excited. The thing, Bam, is like I've been in the bed all day, and then I got on the phone with you, and you just turned my whole mood upside down. Like,
I love that.
Upside down. Absolutely.
Yes,
thank you.
That's my goal. With my platform, I want people to feel exactly that. Like whatever day that you have the day that you have, but when you get on this platform, all of that goes away. We talking about you, your business, and your goals. So
absolutely. Thank you.
Speaking of some things, self-care. That's one thing that I know you're super big on. What do you do for self-care being in a role like this?
Absolutely. I think, like I said, checking in with my life coach, that is self-care for me. And I found a new one, going to the gym. That has really done something different to me, in the last few weeks. I mean, going on 3. When I say, Bam, I be on the elliptical, like talking to myself, like, you got it, girl, like, don't stop. Cause when you want to hit that mark, you want to hit that 2 mile, that 4 mile. I'm like, come on, girl, you got it. That has really, like, being able to encourage yourself, like,
come on,
is powerful. And honestly, I feel like this has been the most I have done for myself, which sounds so crazy, but like I always tell clients too, do you ever talk to yourself? Like, no, but I'm like, it really is. It's powerful. I think for me too, another self-care is reading. I read a lot, and sometimes I don't even finish a whole book. I probably shouldn't say that, but I don't. Sometimes I'm just like interested in that moment, or in that week of a book, and sometimes I'm like, all right, I'll put it down. I'll take it back to the library.
Yeah, you got out of it what you got out of it.
I got out of it what I got. So I always go to the table of contents. I'm like, oh, I want to learn about this. I want to read about that. So I would say it's definitely fun, and it's just a time for me to really be intentional with myself and just my learning and things like that. So.
And I will say, talking to yourself, I probably talk to myself a little too much. Like, and now that masks are gone, I do it in public, and I probably crazy. However, I learned, and I heard this on a podcast, and I feel like it's true. The people that talk to themselves are so aware of themselves and how they feel and mindfulness. So if you talk to yourself, don't let nobody shame you for doing that, okay? Because sometimes I have to bring my own self down.
Absolutely. Say what you got to say to yourself.
And I say and do.
I love it.
Well, tell me, how can we work with you? How can somebody become a client of yours?
Absolutely. So currently, hopefully by the end of the week, I will have my calendar up, and you just go in, book a consultation. We'll chat it out and see what you need to do. The biggest thing for me is I don't do individual coaching, and I know that sounds like a super bummer, but I don't for a couple reasons. But that will be the platform. Right now I do a lot of outreach. I'm doing the reaching out. So I really haven't had the opportunity to actually, put it up and let people reach out to me. Well, I would say organizations and schools, but that's going to be the biggest contact, is emailing me, which I think my email may be on my social media platforms. But that's going to be the biggest point of contact.
Excellent. So anybody, especially in that education field, reach out to Tay, because this is some really good stuff that she has going on.
Absolutely. I travel too. I know I said Columbus area, surrounding area of Columbus, but trust, if you need me to come, I will come. So if you're a teacher, a school counselor, anything like that, and you want me to come and speak, I would love to come and speak to your students.
Okay, and that's a big one, because she travels and gas is not cheap, y'all.
It's not, but for them babies, I will.
She will come.
I will come.
Well, I gotta know. Give them their flowers is my favorite segment on the show. Yeah. So take the time to give flowers to whoever you want to, who has supported you, loved on you. Go right ahead.
First, gotta give glory and honor to the Lord. Thank you, because if it wasn't for him, I would not be on this call right now. Secondly, my fiance. Man, that man, it don't matter if I'm up at 2 a.m. and I got an idea to bounce off of him. He's up and supportive, and he's so intentional with me. I remember one day we were laying in the bed, and I said, babe, like, do you believe in me? He's like, girl, yes. Like, and I'm like, wow, I want to offer you a job. And he just laughing. I'm like, well, do you accept? But I feel like nothing more in the world it can compare to having somebody support you, especially your spouse. Definitely been my number one fan since day one when I brought this idea to him. Secondly, probably my life coach. She has turned into more of a mentor now. Now she's like kind of scooting me out, like, girl, I've been with you for a year. It's time for you to
go fly, right?
Yeah, her name is Regina Steele. She is amazing. I used to work with her before before she became my life coach. And she is just, man, she's such a phenomenal woman. She actually does have her own coaching business. She is kind of taking a pause right now, but if you guys want more information, she specializes in life coaching for Black males. So if you're on here and you do want to get connected, I'm sure she would love to still be connected with you. So please DM me if you have any questions about that. Who else? I mean, there's just so many great people in my life. I would also say my aunt, her name is Marita. Another amazing woman. She's the one who actually kind of got me back into school. I just love being able to talk to her and be myself. Because sometimes I can say some pretty crazy things. My ideas are pretty crazy, and maybe, people just don't understand, but that's one person who I can always go to, say whatever it is I need to say, any idea, like she's always for it, and she always being real with me, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, I would just say my family too. My family. There's too many of y'all to name. I love y'all, but too many of y'all to name. Yep, and I would say even like my line sisters, always supporting me, reaching out to me, just checking in with me. That is, I don't think people understand, that is truly, truly a blessing for me, to have those check-in buddies. Yeah, I think that's about it.
I love that. And check-ins are so important, okay? Because when you are the person that everybody thinks is the strong friend, you need that check-in. So
you need that check-in. My Victoria Saucy, we call her.
My girl
she just called me right before I got on, literally like 5 minutes before I got on. We chatted for a couple minutes, and I'm just like, thank you. Like, thank you for this call, girl. I really appreciate it. So yes. It's things like that really does keep my spirit moving.
Well, I love all of that. I feel so much love and just happiness just coming from you right now. Just saying that name. And don't feel offended if she didn't say you, because it's all love, okay?
It's all love. I know when you get put on the spot like that, now I feel like if I ever won the Grammys or something, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm gonna get up there and say, I'm
crying.
It's too much pressure.
I'm crying. I'm a crying mess. People don't know that, but I cry, okay? Well, we're about to wrap up the show here. So the people that are on the live, first off, thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. If you got anything out of this, make sure y'all putting it in the comments. But Tay, what is the biggest takeaway that you want people to take away from our chat tonight?
Absolutely. You're enough. Don't ever think you're not. The Lord has already equipped you with everything you need to be. And just know that you're enough.
And I feel like, you know what? I feel like that was our positive note. I feel like that's enough.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I have to?
No, that's what you feel.
Am I jumping ahead?
No, that's what you feel. If you got more positivity, feel free to give it. But I think that's a really good positive note.
Yes, that's truly just it for me. You are enough.
Well, I really appreciate you, girl. You did such an amazing job. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I know your business is going to be in schools everywhere. I cannot wait to see it. I can't wait to see the benefits that you gain from it. Can't wait to see them kids out there doing great things. Okay,
girl. You got me just saying that. Got the chills. Like, girl, yes.
You are literally motivating and inspiring people that you don't even know. So I hope you know that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I have to shout out my sponsor. Shout out to Columbus Black. Shout out to Mile. Thank y'all so much for giving me this platform. And make sure y'all are tuning in next week. I'm going to play our little music out. But next week, we are going to have Miss Kayla Oliver on the live talking about her business. So make sure all my people in Cincy tap in and all over. And thanks for just following me, y'all. Shout out to y'all. I've been gone for a week and we had a great time out tonight.
And we are back.
Y'all, and we back. Y'all the best.
Yes. Well, thank you again, Bam. I appreciate you so much. Keep doing what you are doing. This platform is literally inspiring so many people you don't understand. It's great to have this platform and have you sharing these similar experiences with other entrepreneurs. So thank you. Let me give you your flowers. Thank you for just being you. I thank the Lord for even putting this idea and instilling this into you. So then you gave it to us. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, you are so welcome. Very good. Don't make me cry. I didn't put no lashes on.
Or I had to.
Well, y'all know where to tap in next week, same time, 7 p.m. The show is getting started, and make sure y'all come with y'all questions. Y'all was a little silent tonight, but that's okay.
I hope my DMs. DM me if you have any questions for me.
And shout out your social media real quick before we get out of here.
Yes. So my business social media is VRSNCC. So please on IG. I'm only an IG user for now, but be on the lookout for Facebook and other platforms as well.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Champagne 937. Dope show. I appreciate you. And we'll see y'all next week.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Tay.
I'm sorry, I think I'm still on mute. Did I mute myself? Okay.
One second, let me make sure I am in.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. One sec. I can never end the live. I know my followers are like, what?
What if I leave it? Will it close it?
Actually, yeah, you can go ahead and leave, but thank you so much tonight, girl.
Yes. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the week.
And feel better.